6 and 4 wins, a perfect start to the season. The North Penn Knights are sitting atop of the Suburban 1 Power 10. Tonight, the North Penn Knights are ready to take on the Abington Ghosts in Week 5 of North Penn football here on North Penn Television. Pleasant good evening, everybody, from Crawford Stadium. Along with Chad Powell, I'm Kyle Berger, and we're glad you could join us for Ghosts and Knights football on North Penn Television. Chad, Abington coming into this game 0-3, of course, and they're pretty much outsized by North Penn offensive and defensive lines across the board.
Yes, North Penn offensive line, their latest player weighs 215, which is number 70, Matt Abargwin. And Ben Salem's offensive line is barely averaging 215.
Well, last week against Ben Salem, North Penn came away with a 33-14 win, and they really flexed their muscles against them, Chad.
Flexing their muscles is the best way to describe it. Dave Costello came out throwing a lot of pancake blocks. He's allowed High-Key Johnson to run for 240 yards, and the rest of the team just did a really good job.
Well, we're going to take a look at some of the highlights from last week's game against Ben Salem here at Crawford Stadium. You saw it here on North Penn Television, a beautiful night for football, and North Penn got things started in the first quarter. High-Key Johnson, he goes 60 yards untouched and says goodbye to the Ben Salem defense, giving North Penn an early 7-0 lead. That play worked well for the Knights all night long, thanks in large part, as Chad said, to the blocking of Dave Costello. We'll skip to the second quarter and cue the music up, and here goes Clay Kucklick throwing it into the end zone to Evan Fitzpatrick on the quick slant. Extra point was no good, 13-0. North Penn had the lead at halftime. Into the third quarter we go. High-Key Johnson, once again untouched. Dave Costello, number 76, making another big block, taking out two Owls. And North Penn moves into the lead once again. The shutout was on, and it was still on as Mike Collinello, the backup fullback, goes up the middle. 34 yards into the end zone for the touchdown. And the second team offense then came on for North Penn. And number 44, Josh Ketchum, gets the call on the same exact play you just saw from Collinello. And this fullback draw up the middle gives North Penn a 33-0 lead. And at that point, they put in the second team defense, and they would give up a touchdown for the first time in about 12 quarters of football. Here you see the pass going to number 2, TJ Stansel, and that's Ben Salem's first offensive touchdown since the first week of the season. And then they're going to go ahead and score a defensive touchdown off of this fumble from Dan Brown. And they'll pick it up and rumble, fumble, and stumble into the end zone. And that would close out the scoring, 33-14, the final score at Crawford Stadium, which helped North Penn improve to 4-0 on the season. And back now, we're going to take a look at Abington's game last year. Of course, North Penn, similar to this year's schedule, has CB West the following week from Abington's game. They might have come in last year with a little bit of overconfidence, perhaps looking past that game, and they made it a lot more exciting than it probably should have been. We're going to go to the highlight reel and take a look at Abington's game from last season. There you go, 1997 at Crawford Stadium. Third play from scrimmage, Jim Johnson. We're going to be seeing a lot of him tonight. He'll have a new number, 25 tonight. 48 yards, 7-0 Abington. But the other Johnson, this one's North Penn's High-Key Johnson. He comes into the end zone, 9-yard run for a touchdown, tying up the score, 7 apiece. Still in the first quarter, John Connor busts through on the counter, 55 yards on the carry, outrunning North Penn's defense into the end zone. The extra point was no good, 13-7 Abington into the lead. North Penn would answer with, in my opinion, one of the most exciting plays of the season. 3rd and 18, Parentozzi rolls left and throws to the flat to Nate Vielhauer, and he'll go 75 yards untouched. Great block by Jason Payne on that play, and he outraces the Abington defense 14-13 after the first quarter. Into the second quarter we go, and John Connor scores the second of his 3 touchdowns on the day. A 2-yard run puts Abington back into a 19-14 lead as they miss the extra point again. Nate Vielhauer got his second touchdown of the game on this 3-yard run to close out the scoring in the first half. North Penn would go into the break with a 22-19 lead. And then in the third quarter, Tom Parentozzi scored what would turn out to be the eventual game winner on this keeper, going around the right end for 7 yards and the touchdown. Extra point was good. 29-19, North Penn into the lead, and then Abington closed out the scoring with this John Connor 5-yard double reverse play. Final score, once again, 29-25. North Penn squeaks by Abington. And Chad, we don't expect to see that sort of overlooking tonight from North Penn. Well, our coverage is just getting started here on North Penn Television. We'll be back with the coin toss, keys to the game, and the opening kickoff after this. Stick around.
It's my birthday. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh, I told you, don't be bringing that weak stuff in here. Yeah. Who's the man? Who's the man?
Exercised lately?
Welcome back to Crawford Stadium as we are getting set for the start of the North Penn Knights and Abington Galloping Ghost battle here. A Suburban 1 League battle against the undefeated versus the winless. North Penn, of course, 4-0, winning their first 4 games of the season. And Abington 0-3, dropping their 3 games of the season. They did not play in that first week of the season in which North Penn played the non-league contest against Penn Ridge. We're getting set for the coin toss here at Crawford Stadium. The captains for the North Penn Knights are number 76, Dave Coslow, number 81, Evan Fitzpatrick, and number 71, Corey Jackson. For the Abington Ghosts, the captains are number 22, John Connor, number 25, Jim Johnson, number 4, Jeremy Goodwin, and number 80, Paul Sharp. Chad, we were out here a little earlier when we were setting up today, doing our pregame show. There's a lot of wind out here, but that seems to have died down, so that won't be as much of a factor tonight.
No, it won't. Right now it seems like there's just a little bit of a gust. You probably will be able to throw the ball a lot tonight.
Well, the wind is going from the far side of the field to the near side of the field. Not really a headwind or a tailwind. It will be a crosswind. And you mentioned passing tonight, Chad. Last season in this game, Abington threw 3 passes total. And they caught North Penn off guard because they ran the ball every single play of the first half. They didn't throw a pass till the third quarter. And Jeremy Goodwin was the quarterback in that game for the Ghosts. He was 2 for 3 in that game and wound up throwing for 46 yards. Well, it looks like North Penn has won the toss. And they will receive the football. So North Penn will start off and get a good chance to make an impression on Abington. They'll be going from left to right, Abington from right to left. Chad, let's look at the 3 keys to the game tonight for North Penn.
North Penn can't afford to overlook Abington. Abington has 2 very good running backs. The backside defensive ends have to be staying home. Abington runs the wing T offense, and you can run a lot of misdirection with that. And since Abington has the ball first, they need to score on this first drive to get the momentum going to their side.
That's right. You talk about those 2 very good running backs. Those are 2 of their co-captains, Jim Johnson and John Connor. Each of them had over 100 yards last year against North Penn. Connor, 150 yards, 3 touchdowns. Johnson, 122 yards and a touchdown. And with those misdirection plays, you really need to have your 2 ends, Coslow and Chang, stay at home for North Penn. And what a better opportunity than to score first right now, getting a big kickoff return from North Penn, getting in good field position, marching down the field and knocking that ball into the end zone to get an early lead. Of course, they fell behind last year, but did manage to come back. They do not want to get involved in an offensive shootout here with Abington tonight.
No, that would not be good at all for North Penn. I mean, Jeff Craig's just coming back, joining the defensive line. You don't want to have your defense out there too long. Or don't want your offense out there too long because everybody start getting tired, especially on a cold night like tonight. Maybe some people start cramping up.
Yeah, North Penn did not force many turnovers against Abington last year. In fact, I don't think they did have one. It's important for them to come out and try to look for stripping a football off of a run. I mean, they have 2 marquee running backs that they're up against. They got to try to force them in to coughing up the football. In to kick off is Matt Johnson for Abington. Thomas and Johnson deep. It will be taken by Aaron Thomas at the 10-yard line. He drops the football. They're in trouble. Gets a block from Johnson, and he's smothered at the 10-yard line inside the 10. Chad, right away, North Penn backs themselves into the corner. You have to catch the kickoff. That's just important.
Looked like Thomas tried catching the ball with his pads, and it bounced right off.
So North Penn is on their own 7-yard line, 1st and 10. just underway here at Crawford Stadium. Aaron Thomas has been having difficulty recently returning kicks and punts. And let's check out the offensive line for North Penn real quickly. Ibargwin, Koslow, Chang, Jackson, and Michael are up front for the Knights. We'll take a look at the backfield after this first play. A lot of motion from North Penn. Johnson falls back into a split formation with Kapusta, the fullback. Give us to Johnson off tackle. He's wrapped up in the backfield and dropped for a loss. Well, let's look at the offensive backfield. Cucklet, Kapusta, Johnson, Thomas, Fitzpatrick, and Hertz. No changes there for the Knights. Now we'll go into the defensive line for the Abington Ghosts. Up front for the Ghosts, Willis, Smith, McLaughlin, and Idzik. And the backers and secondary for the Ghost, Doug Moat, Mike Kearney, Paul Sharp, and Dave Brooks are the linebackers. And Johnson, Bingham are the cornerbacks. John Connor is the free safety. The Ghosts run a 4-4 defense. 2nd and 12 for the Knights after the 2-yard loss by Heike Johnson. Here he comes out of the end zone, running a sweep. He's wrapped up at the 1-yard line, maybe the 2-yard line. This isn't going well for North Penn.
No, this is not going well at all. North Penn, the offensive line doesn't look like they're firing off the ball too well. And Abington is just firing right through the line, getting in the backfield.
It's going to be about 3rd and 15 for North Penn. The ball is inside their 5-yard line at the 3-yard line. You might see North Penn just concede a punt here and run a simple draw up the middle, not risk anything here. Well, they run an inside counter to Aaron Thomas, and here he goes. Look at him go. He's got the 40, the 35, 50. Is he going to go? I think so. I don't believe it. A 98-yard run by Aaron Thomas. Touchdown Knights, and they're in the lead. So much for conceding a punt. Wow.
That was a nice call calling that draw play. They just ran a little misdirection with it, and Aaron Thomas with his speed was just gone.
A little bit of a taste of their own medicine for the Abington Ghosts. North Penn got beat with those inside counters last year, and they come out and run one on 3rd and 15 from their own 2-yard line. Very risky play call, and Thomas just an unbelievable run. He is the fastest guy on North Penn, hands down, and you got to hand it to him making up for that muffed kick return, coming back running 98 yards, which would probably be the longest play in North Penn history, I would imagine.
I think Coach Patton is just trying to get him a little confidence back so he can return some good kickoffs.
Here's Heinel's extra point. It's up and good. 7-0 North Penn into the lead. Let's take a look at Aaron Thomas's 98-yard run. This is a beauty, an inside reverse, and he goes untouched. Great block downfield by Fitzpatrick, and even John Connor is not going to touch him. He's the fastest guy on Abington, and Aaron Thomas just burns him into the end zone. Well, we said they needed to score first. We didn't think they were, and all of a sudden it's 7-0 North Penn on a beauty of a run by Thomas. That's one of the best runs I've ever seen, Chad.
In that camera angle, you can tell how fast Aaron Thomas is. Once they crossed the 50, he was pulling away from Connor.
I'm just amazed by that. That was just an incredible run. We'll probably be playing that on North Penn television on continuous loop for a couple weeks. That was incredible. Well, North Penn is on to kick off, and here's where they have to make the stop. They need to stop Abington. They cannot let them score on here and let them get any momentum whatsoever. Wes Heinel is on to kick number 7 for the Knights. Back deep to receive for Abington is number 1, Damian Newman, and number 22, John Connor. Here's a kick by Heinel. It's high and deep, sends Johnson back to the 8-yard line. He'll take it. And great special teams coverage downfield by Dan Brown and Steve Francis making the tackle inside the 20-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Ghosts. Let's take a look at the Abington starting offensive lineups. Up front for the Ghosts, Kurt Vonderheide, Andre Willis, Nate Knox, Pat Cornell, Brian McLaughlin, and Paul Sharp is the tight end. In the backfield, quarterback is number 4, Jeremy Goodwin. The 2 running backs are Johnson and Connor. Fullback is Dave Brooks, and the split end is Dan Mahan, number 8. 1st and 10 for the Ghosts. Up the middle it goes. And nowhere on that play goes Jim Johnson. Now a look at North Penn's starting lineups on defense. The 2 defensive ends are Dan Chang, Dave Koslow. 2 tackles, Jeff Craig back into the lineup, more on him later, and Brick Mengel Spurrio. Fran Mahan gets the call at nose guard for the Knights. 3 linebackers, Mike Colonello, Mike Kapusta, and Mike Moore. And the defensive backfield, Wagner and Thomas. The cornerbacks, Heike Johnson, number 2, the free safety. 2nd and 10 after that no-gain play on first down. Abington running out of the wing T. Jeremy Goodwin gives the ball up the middle, and it goes to the fullback. Dave Brooks picks up maybe 2 yards on that play. 3rd and 8, so North Penn right away has a good chance to make a defensive stop.
Benton has to be happy with what he sees out of his defense so far. Both these plays, the defensive line has been in there all the time.
3rd and 8 for Abington. Ball is at the 20-yard line. 3 minutes into the opening quarter here at Crawford Stadium. North Penn up 7-0 on a 98-yard run by Aaron Thomas. And up the middle. No, it's an option, I beg your pardon. It goes out to the wide side. And it is John Connor picking up a first down. You see Coach Pettin getting in the face of Clay Kucklick right there. That's that backside containment we're talking about, Chad. They fake the handoff up the middle. It's a triple option play, and we'll see a ton of options out of Abington tonight.
The option is one of the best plays you can run with in high school football. The quarterback has his choice. He can either tuck it up or he can pitch it outside to his running back.
Especially out of this wing T formation. 1st and 10 Ghost. Ball is at the 35-yard line of Abington. Here's a reverse. Goes to Johnson. That time North Penn's backside stayed home and made a tackle after about a 3-yard gain by the Ghosts. Well, we'll call it 4 yards, 2nd and 6 for Abington. Clock running, 8:15 to go in the opening quarter. Also not necessarily the defensive ends, but also the linebackers have to make sure that they do their job and stay at home. Here's the 2nd and 6 play. It's it's a handoff up the middle. They're running all over the place on me. 33 on the carry. That's Mike Kearney, the big fullback. 1st and 10 Abington after a pickup of about 15 yards. Not only is it confusing to play defense, it's confusing to watch it up here from the press box. The Ghosts are running circles around North Penn's defense right now. They need to buckle down and just make sure they make the right read on every play.
Right now, the defense needs to use their weight to their advantage.
1st and 10 Ghosts. Ball at the North Penn 44-yard line. Goodwin sends the reverse to Johnson, and a good job of staying at home by Mike Colonello. Holds him to just a 3-yard gain. 2nd and 7 for the Ghosts. There you see Mike Colonello did a little shuffle step to the right, read the fullback draw, but came back in time to make the tackle on Johnson. Clock running now, 5 minutes into this opening quarter on North Penn Television. Glad you could join us tonight. I'm Kyle Berger along with Chad Powell. Abington trails 7-0 to North Penn. They have 2nd and 7 on North Penn's 41-yard line. Here's the option. Double clutch. That should be a block in the back end. Rightfully so. A flag is thrown. You saw it all over it on that one. That was number 25, Jim Johnson, throwing the block on Mike Colonello. We'll see if we can take another look at that and pick up the call. It was pretty blatant. They're actually going to call it a clip, so that's going to be 15 yards from the spot of the foul. That is a real costly penalty for Abington. Okay, let's take a look at that. Now watch number 25 coming at the bottom of the screen right there. You saw Colonello go flying across, and you saw the yellow handkerchief fly. It's a 15-yard penalty against Abington. And Abington really got hurt by penalties last week against Truman. It was a 14-5 loss to the Tigers. And on a play similar to that, Jim Johnson ran an option for about 35 yards deep into Truman territory, and they got called for a clip. And you see right now, it's 2nd and 23 for the Ghosts, and that's a drive killer right there.
Well, with running all these misdirectional plays, you have North Penn Knights defense is just trying to find where the ball is. They're running all over the place. They're turning their backs, and someone turns their back and you hit them. It's still a clip.
And really, it wasn't a block that needed to be made. Connor was already by the running back. And here's another option. He's in trouble. Can he get outside? Yes, he gets by Koslow, but he drags him down. After about a 6-yard gain, picking up the carry was Jim Johnson. It'll be 3rd and long for the Ghosts. We're going to call it 3rd and 17. As we've reached the halfway point of the opening quarter, North Penn only running 3 plays from scrimmage. Abington has controlled the ball for about 4 or 5 minutes here, and are starting to grind it out on the ground, but that penalty has really hurt them. Ball is inside midfield at the 49-yard line. We'll see if Abington goes to the air here. They have one tight end in. Here's a option to the other side. Ball is loose! But falling on the fumble is John Connor before North Penn did get it. Must have squirted out from under Connor. And I think it's Jeff Craig that picks up the fumble for North Penn. There's a great story right there, Chad. Jeff Craig leaving the game on a stretcher against Council Rock 2 weeks ago. He's back starting. He picks up a fumble recovery, 1st and 10, North Penn.
That has to be really great for his confidence right now.
Well, I was talking to him before the game, and he said that he probably was going to go out there a little tentative, not knowing what he wanted to do with the football. And what do you know? He comes up and picks up a fumble recovery. Big play for the senior. Here's Heike Johnson. Gets tripped up after about a 5-yard gain, but stumbles for another 4 yards on second effort. Close to a North Penn 1st down. 2nd and short for the Knights. This is when we start to see the offensive line just manhandling the defensive line of Abington.
Well, North Penn's offensive line, like we said earlier, their latest guy weighs 215.
Yeah, that's Matt Bargwin, the left tackle, and he's lined up opposite the right defensive end, Steve Idzek, who's 6'2", 225. Here's Heike Johnson. He's gone. Touchdown Knights. Heike Johnson. A 35-yard run off right tackle. No flags. 13-0 North Penn in the lead. North Penn is shocking Abington. 2 quick scores, and they are all over the Ghosts. Big plays so far for the Knights, a 98-yard run and a 35-yard run. And Abington is just helpless right now against North Penn's rushing attack.
Well, North Penn's rushing is all due to their offensive line. They get Dave Costello, Corey Jackson, all these big, fast guards out in front, and they just plow you over.
Here's Heinel's attempt at the extra point. Clay Kucklick, the quarterback, will do the holding. Ball is spotted, kick is up, and it's good. 14-0, North Penn into the lead. And we're going to take a look at Heike Johnson's run. Hey, what do you know? Dave Costello picking up the block that springs him into the end zone. Man, we saw that last week against Ben Salem. Costello maybe 6-7 downfield blocks, and yet another one, and he's the first to greet him in the end zone, picking up a big block against Abington's John Connor downfield. And that's the 2nd time North Penn's running backs have outrun Connor into the end zone.
Dave Costello is one of the most in-shape North Penn Knights. They have this thing called the Black Knights. I don't know if too many people know about it. It's a bunch of weightlifting and like endurance skills. And there's only 7 of them on the team this year.
And 2 of those Black Knights are currently out of the lineup. Actually, 3, I should say. Joe Talese is out with a knee injury. So is Chris McKelvey. And Martin Leonard out for the season with a broken leg. So North Penn really down to 4 Black Knights. Wes Heinel will come on to kick off for the North Penn Knights. Good to see him back in the lineup kicking off again after taking last week off due to a slight groin pull. He was able to kick extra points, but they did not want to risk injuring him on these long kickoffs. Same 2 back to receive for Abington. It's Damian Newman and John Connor, number 22. Here's Heinel's kick. It's a beauty, high and deep, sending Connor back to the end zone, and they're going to call it a touchback. There's an automatic touchback rule in high school. You don't have to down it once the ball enters the end zone. It's ruled dead. So Abington will get out to the 20-yard line and take over, down 14-0. Great kick by Heinel. And when you have a guy back there like John Connor, who's one of the fastest guys in the league, you might as well just kick it in the end zone instead of risking having him run one back. Don't give him a chance to run it back.
Well, sometimes it's almost better in high school because a lot of kickers can barely make it past the 10 and it winds up coming out to the 30.
Quick draw up the middle to the fullback, Dave Brooks. He gets about 2 yards, 2nd and 8 for Abington. We'll see if Abington maybe changes up their game plan here on offense. Already down 14-0, 8 minutes into this first quarter. As we said last year, they only attempted 3 passes. We might see them change it up and try to air it out with, actually now Francis Benson, number 10, is into the game for Abington. They've already subbed quarterbacks. Here's a keeper by Benson. He scrambles and dives forward for about a 6-yard gain, close to a first down at the 28-yard line. They need to get the 30 for the first down. Of course, Francis Benson isn't exactly a stranger to the Abington offense. He has played several times throughout the season. And actually we see the quarterback, Jeremy Goodwin, is now split left as a wide receiver, sort of running a little Cordell Stewart here. 3rd and short. It's an inside reverse, and look at who makes the stop. Mike Moore levels John Connor in the backfield for a 5-yard loss. That was a big hit. Just a great hit by Mike Moore. And let's take a look at him plant John Connor in the backfield.
Moore just came through the line and just took his legs out.
Oh, we have technical difficulties. We don't have that replay for you. Instead, Paul Sharp is in to punt for Abington. Aaron Thomas back deep for the Knights. It's a high spiral by Sharp. Thomas, oh, it's off of him. That's a live football, and Abington has recovered, I think. I can't tell. It looks like North Penn might have wrestled it away.
I'm afraid it looks like it's Abington's ball.
Yeah, that it is, and the kick returning problems continue for Aaron Thomas. That one looked like he couldn't figure out whether he wanted to get out of the way or catch it. Those are the ones you just want to see Thomas fair catch. They're in good field position. If he catches it right there, he's at the 38-yard line. But instead, he couldn't figure out whether he wanted to catch it or get out of the way, and it winds up going off his shoulder pads. 1st and 10, Abington on a costly turnover.
Well, that was a low line drive kick. He didn't have too much of a chance to get underneath of it, though.
Ball's at the North Penn 38-yard line. Goodwin is now at quarterback. He throws out. Wrapped in the backfield and dropped by Craig. Ball is loose. North Penn football at the 49-yard line. Turnabout's fair play. 1st and 10, North Penn. After the fumble by Abington's Jim Johnson. Causing the fumble was Brick Mengel-Spurrio.
Jeff Craig in on the tackle once more, helping make the fumble.
Yeah, it looked like Craig set him up, and then Mengel-Spurrio came in and beat him up. Here's a look at that play. Just an outside pitch. There's the original hit by Fran Mahana. No, it looked like Craig might have picked up the strip. And Mike Moore on the spot for the Knights, picking up the fumble recovery. 1st and 10, North Penn. Still in the first quarter, they lead 14-0 already on Abington. Kapusta and Johnson in the backfield. Abington jumps. And there is a flag on the play. We'll see if it was a North Penn player or an Abington player that jumped. It is offsides against Abington, so they'll move it up 5 yards. It'll be 1st and 5 for the Knights at the 46-yard line, now into Abington territory.
I don't know why Abington really could have jumped on that play unless Kuklik gave him a really hard count. The other thing I can think of is they saw Thomas go in motion and figured that they were going to snap the ball pretty soon.
Yeah, it looked like Andre Willis, number 50, the senior defensive end, jumped. Here's 1st and 5 for the North Penn Knights. Kuklik at quarterback. He's going to run the bootleg. Fires over the middle, and it's incomplete, looking for Kapusta. Good coverage by Abington on that. They had Fitzpatrick covered deep in man coverage. So not much Kuklik could do, more or less a throwaway on that play.
If he would have looked a little bit sooner, maybe got rid of it a little bit sooner, he had Aaron Thomas streaking down the sideline on this side.
Clock stopped at 2:38 in the opening quarter. 2nd and 5 for North Penn on Abington's 47-yard line. North Penn leads 14-0. Full house backfield. Here it goes to Johnson off right tackle. He breaks free, and look at him go. He's down to the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Knights. Heike Johnson is blowing up. 20-0 North Penn into the lead. Oh my, a 47-yard run by the junior. and his second of the game.
I couldn't tell if he hurdled over somebody or if he was walking on people's back because he looked like he grew about a foot halfway through the middle of the field.
Unbelievable run by Heike Johnson, his 8th touchdown of the year. He is on his way to a monster game. He had 240 last week against Ben Salem. He's halfway there. North Penn all over Abington, 20-0 here in the first quarter, with the extra point to follow by Heinel. Kuklik with the spot. Kick is up, and it's good. 21-0, North Penn into the lead. Let's take a look at Heike Johnson's run. This is a beauty. Good blocking up front. Good lead block by Kapusta. And there you see, yeah, I think Heike might have stepped off of one of his own players. A look over his shoulder, and nobody's going to catch him. Closest player was Dan Mann of Abington, and a great block by Kapusta coming through the line. He took out number 45, that's Evan Holmes of Abington. And Kapusta is back healthy for North Penn. He left the game with dizziness last week, and it's good to see him back in the lineup throwing big blocks in the backfield.
Kapusta suffered a concussion last game.
Yeah, he was out. He really didn't know where he was. He kind of came off the field a little woozy, and he did not come back for the second half. 2:26 to go in the first half. North Penn all over Abington. There are 27 points scored in the first quarter last season against Abington, 14 of which were North Penn's, 13 of which were Abington's. North Penn could have 28 points on the board by the end of this quarter. So Wes Heinel is on to kick for the North Penn Knights. Back deep to receive, Jim Johnson. I'm sorry, that's John Connor and Damian Newman. Here's Heinel's kick. It's high, and it is taken at the 10-yard line by Connor. Abington setting up the wedge on the kick return. Busting through it is Dan Brown, and a big hit on that play. Downfield by Sid Anand and Larry Cannon, two of the maniacs on special teams for North Penn, making the big hits.
Seeing Sid Anand making big hits on special teams really surprises me because he's like their third-string quarterback.
Yeah, he is their third-string quarterback. He only goes 5'11", 140. He had two big hits last week on special teams before he came into the game to man the second-string offense in the fourth quarter against Ben Salem. First and 10 Owls, they're the Ghosts at the 21-yard line. Give is up the middle and stuffed by the North Penn front line after a quick pickup of about 2 yards is Dave Brooks. And on that tackle is Mike Kapusta for North Penn.
Mike Kearney carrying for the Ghosts, stopped by Mike Kapusta for the Knights.
Kapusta doing what he's supposed to do as an inside linebacker. He's reading where the guards are going, he's looking for the holes, and he's just stepping up and filling them, taking his hits.
Clock running inside 2 minutes to go in the opening quarter, and Abington's just hoping this first quarter can get over with real quick. It's one they'd like to put behind them. North Penn into a 21-0 lead. Abington will send Benson split to the left, split to the right, and Francis Benson is into the game at quarterback. That's Goodwin split to the right. Here's the option. Benson will tuck it up, and not a very wise decision as Koslow wraps him up and brings him down after a 2-yard gain. Good job by Koslow to stick with Benson on that play.
I think Benson thought his tight end had Koslow blocked, but Koslow is so big and tall, he just has that reach.
Yeah, the one thing about running the option as a quarterback is you have to know what you're going to do. You can't fake yourself out by saying, hey, I'm going to pitch the ball, and then all of a sudden try to tuck it up. It looked like that might have happened to Benson, a little indecision, and that could have cost him a couple yards up the field. Benson still at quarterback. He's going to roll left. Paul Sharp with a little 10-yard stand-up. It's picked off by Aaron Thomas. Doesn't have much room to go with it. And North Penn football at the 39-yard line went right through the hands of Paul Sharp. And Aaron Thomas picked it off.
This is looking like North Penn's first game against Penridge. Turnovers all over the place.
Aaron Thomas' second pick of the game. All right, we don't have the replay yet. We'll see if we can get a look at it later in the game. 47 seconds left in the opening quarter. Here's this play by Aaron Thomas. You saw it tip off the hands of Paul Sharp. And Thomas looking for a touchdown return as he had against Truman, but no such thing. Here's first and 10 North Penn. Up the middle it goes to Kapusta. He fights forward for about 6 yards on the play. Good run by the junior. It'll be second and about 4 yards, maybe 5 for North Penn, as they're just dominating this game.
Cooklick and High Key are trying to help Kapusta out right there. It looked like they were faking the option to the outside as he handed it off.
And we have seen the option run by North Penn with Cooklick. He does have good speed, and he runs the option well, not afraid to take a hit here and there. That's one thing in the option. The quarterback is going to take a beating. That's partially why we see 2 starting quarterbacks for the Abington Ghosts. Kapusta and High Key in the I formation. Johnson gets about 3 yards, and that'll bring to the end on either side, which you're looking at, either a very successful or a very disastrous first quarter. North Penn has a 21-0 lead after 12 minutes of play here at Crawford Stadium. And we'll be back after this with the second quarter here from Crawford Stadium, 21-0, North Penn in the lead. Stick around, we'll be back.
You don't have to like me.
Or you can. You don't have to be my friend.
But you might like me if you got to know me.
You don't have to be my roommate.
I am gonna be your neighbor. You don't have to run with me.
You really don't have to run away from me.
You may not like what I have to say.
But hear me.
Hear me out.
And we're not all that different. I like good food.
Good music.
I love my mom. I want to fall in love.
Madly.
I want a good job.
I want my kids to live in a world
Where they are safe and loved.
And respected for who they are.
You don't have to like me. But if you talk to me,
You might.
we can end prejudice if we talk to each other.
Call.
Tell us what you do.
Together we can build one America.
Welcome back to Crawford Stadium, getting ready to start the second quarter. It's 3rd and 2 for North Penn. Big play here just outside the 30-yard line. Here goes to Kapusta. He fights forward, and he has the first down for North Penn. Chad, let's take a look at some of the first half stats.
High Key Johnson has a total of 88 yards, Kapusta a total of 5, and Thomas with 98.
Of course, that 98 coming on 1 run. High Key Johnson has 88 on 5 or 6 carries, and he has 2 touchdowns for North Penn. And Kapusta just added to his total by about 3 yards on that last carry. 1st and 10, North Penn. Ball at the Abington 28-yard line. Just underway in the second quarter, North Penn leads 21-0. Here goes High Key off a left tackle. He gets free and is driven out of bounds by James Stevens after a pickup of close to 10 yards. Very close to a first down. We'll call it 9 yards. 2nd and 1 for North Penn at the 20-yard line. North Penn really trying to get as much of a lead in the first half as they can so they can relax in the second half and possibly get in some of their second string players as they did last week against Ben Salem. 2nd and 1 for the Knights, full house backfield. Here goes Kapusta. Fighting, still fighting, gets about 5 or 6 yards. And it'll be another North Penn first down. This one comes at the 11-yard line of Abington. It just appears that North Penn is just blowing Abington off of the football.
Well, the offensive line, Mike Kapusta on that play, every time the ball's been snapped, they keep their legs churning. Kapusta churned his legs for like an extra 5 yards on that play.
That's the one thing. Once you hit the pile, you have to keep your feet moving. Whether you're carrying the ball or if you're blocking, as long as your feet are driving, you're not going to be tackled. Backs in an open set. Johnson is the halfback. It looked like Abington jumped off sides. Were they provoked? We'll see the call.
I don't think they were. I think Kucklick's just giving them a really hard count.
Yeah, it's offsides once again against Abington. This one was against James Stevens, number 8. It looked like he was showing blitz and kind of gave a head fake, but actually came across the line of scrimmage and came into contact with one of North Penn's linemen. That'll give North Penn a 1st and 5 at the Abington 7-yard line. We'll see if they can punch it in right here. It's a keeper by Kucklick, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown Knights. Clay Kucklick on the 7-yard keeper. We have entered blowout city. It's 27-0 here at Crawford Stadium. There is an injured player for Abington down on the field. Good blocking up front by North Penn, giving Kucklick basically untouched into the end zone.
Well, that's exactly what we were talking about pregame.
Okay, let's take a look at the run by Clay Kucklick. And good speed. He just kind of put his head down and ran right into the end zone and picks up his first rushing touchdown of the season. Injured player on that play is number 33, Mike Kearney, who is also the backup fullback for the Ghosts. He scored the lone Abington touchdown last week, a 1-yard touchdown run. And he is limping off, seems to be favoring his left leg. So North Penn scores a minute 50 into the second quarter. They are up 27-0 with the extra point by Wes Heinel to follow. Well, it's been nothing short of exciting here if you're a North Penn football fan. 3 big runs and then a 7-yarder by Clay Kucklick. North Penn well on their way here. Here's the spot by Kucklick. The kick is up by Heinel, and it's good. 28-0, North Penn into the lead. So far, except for maybe the Thomas punt return that he fumbled, a pretty much flawless game so far for North Penn.
I think Thomas is trying to make up for a lot of stuff with that interception after he dropped that punt return. And everybody else has been picking it up pretty well so far tonight.
Yeah, we've seen Aaron Thomas kind of, after that opening kickoff, he was really feeling down as he cost his team several yards in field position, but made up for it by getting 98 of his own on 1 carry. And then coming back after fumbling the punt return, getting another turnover for North Penn. Abington has turned the football over 2 times for the Knights. And North Penn with that 1 fumble on Thomas's punt return. Abington will send back Damian Newman and John Connor to return. Unfortunately for the Ghosts, this is their 4th kickoff return already in the game. Here's Heinel's kick. It's high and it's deep. Taken by Newman at the 4-yard line. Great coverage downfield by North Penn. A huge hit on that play. Brick Mengel Spurio, along with Steve Francis, get some dinner on Damian Newman right there. A huge hit.
That's what you like to call a gang tackle right there. He had 5 North Penn players all over him. He had nowhere to go.
That was just unbelievable. Great hit downfield by the North Penn special teamers, and they really showed up tonight. They made a lot of big hits out there, and we've seen several different guys downfield making the tackles for North Penn. Here's a handoff off tackle to the right side. North Penn's defense collapses on Abington's ball carrier. That was Jim Johnson. Totally different story this year than last year, Chad. As we said at the top of the show, Johnson and Connor each had 100 yards rushing last year. And it looks like North Penn's going to pull that on them this year with 2 guys of their own, Heike Johnson and Aaron Thomas. And Johnson and Connor have not been that effective so far for Abington. Goodwin under center now for the Ghosts. He's going to run the option. He'll pitch it out to Connor. Good containment by Colinello. Couldn't bring him down, just got a fistful of jersey. And after about a 2-yard gain, the backside defensive end, Dave Koslow, brings him down. Connor picked up about 3 yards on that play. 3rd down and about 5 yards to go for Abington.
It's a great job by Costa coming from the far side of the field, getting over there and making the hit.
Clock is stopped at 9:14 to go in the first half after Connor goes out of bounds. Goodwin under center for the Ghosts. It's a reverse, and North Penn's defense reads it wonderfully. The ball is loose. And North Penn has it. 1st and 10, North Penn. 3rd turnover by Abington. I don't know who caused the fumble, but it looked like Koslow recovered it. And North Penn in excellent field position once again.
North Penn right now looks like they're winning this game on defense. I mean, their defense come up with almost all their setups for their touchdowns.
Fittingly, the clock is stopped at 9:11. Abington needs to dial 911 right now, or they're going to be really down in this ball game. 28-0 North Penn, and it appears after this possession it might very well be 35-0. Aaron Thomas will be split out to the left, Fitzpatrick to the right. Kapusta and Johnson are the 2 backs in an open formation. Pitch left to Johnson. Good block by Kapusta around the corner. Here he goes. Downfield block by Costa. What a cut! Touchdown Knights! Heike Johnson. Oh my goodness, what a cut at the 3-yard line. I don't believe it. Johnson has the hat trick. A great run for North Penn. And Johnson has taken over this game single-handedly. But you got to hand it to Koslow on the downfield block once again.
That was a great job by Heike reading that block by Koslow.
That was probably one of the best cuts I've seen in any level of professional football. Chad, you made the comparison to Barry Sanders last week. No argument here. That was unbelievable. Barry Sanders cut back by Heike Johnson. That was incredible. Here's Heinel on for the extra point to make it 35-0. Ball is spotted, kick is up, it's good. 35-0, North Penn into the lead. Let's take a look at this run by Johnson. All you need to look at here is this block by Kapusta, this block by Koslow, and the cutback. Well, we didn't pick it up on the camera, but believe me, it was incredible. He went about 3 yards to the right after just planting near the sideline and faked that last man into next week with that move. Heike Johnson, 3 touchdowns in the first half.
This might give you an idea of how hard he cut. This field's pretty dry today. When he cut, you could see dirt just come flying up out of the ground.
And also, Chad, this gives you an idea of how much more improved the North Penn Knights are this year than last year. Against Abington, they were going back and forth all game trying to figure out who wanted to win the ball game the most. Abington with pretty much the same team this year. They had the same quarterback, the same 2 running backs, and several key players returned for them. But North Penn is just shoving it down the Ghost's throats right now. They are up 35-0, putting 5 touchdowns on the board in the first 16 minutes of football here at Crawford Stadium.
I wouldn't be surprised in the second half when we saw a lot of second stringers in.
Yeah, that will probably happen. We'll see that out of Coach Pettin, but the defense has just been playing excellent. Abington only has 3 first downs so far. Here's Heinel's kick. He sends it high and short. It will be taken by the up man, Paul Sharp. Ball is loose. Ball is still loose. I think Abington might have fallen on it. I'm not sure. We'll wait for a signal. Yes, they did. At the 15-yard line, Abington will take over.
Abington getting very lucky on that play. I don't know who it was that made the hit, but he made the Abington player drop right onto the ball.
It'll be 1st and 10 for the Ghosts in horrible field position. Once again, they have the ball at their own 15-yard line. And North Penn's defense looking for another stop.
Looks like North Penn put in a lot of their second-string defense, too. Dave Koslow and Heike Johnson are over here on the sidelines.
Yeah, more or less just to get a breather, I would imagine. North Penn still wanting to get another shutout. Francis Benson is a quarterback now for Abington. He's going to run the option. He pitches out. And is Jim Johnson around the corner. Ball is loose, but it goes out of bounds. Jim Johnson, on the carry, picks up about 8 yards. Knocked out of bounds by Aaron Thomas.
Mike Colonella helped a little getting him out of bounds there. He came flying over and just ducked his shoulder. He wound up rolling over the top of him because Jim Johnson just ducked and Colonella had nowhere else to go. He almost ran over the ref on the sideline.
Johnson picked up 8 yards on that carry. 2nd and 2 for the Ghosts. Ball at their own 23-yard line. North Penn and their 5-3 defense brought in especially for this wing T offense of Abington. Benson at center. He's going to run the option again. This time it goes to Damian Newman. He gets outside, and he'll pick up a first down for Abington, picking up about 10 yards on that option. So Abington brings in a junior running back, Damian Newman, who goes about 5'7", 155, runs pretty low to the ground and got outside on that one, picking up a first down for Abington.
Well, as you said earlier, it looks like they brought in a special defense, but not really. They've had this defense all year. This is the third wing tee they've seen so far this year.
Yeah, that's right. They did bring up against Truman and Penn Ridge, two wing tee teams. You'll see an 8-man front out of North Penn, a 5-3 formation, whereas their base defense is a 4-4 against teams such as Council Rock and Ben Salem, who are more modern offense. Here's a give up the middle, and going nowhere on the play is Jim Johnson. Stop made on that play by Jeff Craig, who's been all over the place for North Penn, making some big tackles at the line of scrimmage.
Jeff Craig might be one player we see in the game, the whole game, just to get some confidence back in him.
2nd and 9 for Abington after a pickup of about a half of a yard. And Abington playing musical quarterbacks. I'm not sure who they'll have in on this formation as quarterback. It will be Benson, as they'll split Jeremy Goodwin out to the left side. Here's a option to the other side, and a big stick on that play by Jared Gamble, knocking the running back out of bounds. It appeared that Jim Johnson got that carry. It was almost like a reverse option there. They faked coming to one side and went back to the other, but North Penn making yet another good read on defense as Gamble knocks him out of bounds. Third and 8 for the Ghosts at the Abington 36-yard line. Split out wide to the right for Abington's number 45. Evan Holmes lined up in single coverage against Mike Landis. It'll be another option. And coming over to make the tackle, no, he missed it, was Mike Colinello, but Landis trips up the Abington running back Jim Johnson after a pickup of about 11 yards. Colinello had a chance to make the tackle, but was unable to. 1st and 10 for the Ghosts. We are past the halfway point of the second quarter now, as the clock will start to run after the first down markers are placed.
Colinello looks like a man possessed tonight. He's on defense. He's been all over the field.
Yeah, North Penn's defense as a whole almost has been all over the field. A lot of gang tackles tonight, a lot of big hits. Benson at quarterback for the Ghosts. Hands up the middle. It goes to number 2, Steve Wright. He picks up about 4 yards on that play. He's out to midfield. It'll be 2nd and a long 6 for the Ghosts. And Chad, one thing that we like to mention is if we get into the second half here and North Penn is up by 35 points or more, they'll put into effect what is called the mercy rule. And what that means is the clock will continually run as long as one team has a 35-point lead over the other team in the second half. So we might see a rather quick second half tonight if North Penn continues to lead in this manner. Here's an option by Benson. It goes outside to John Connor. He has room. He gets outside, but wrapped up at the ankles nicely by Mike Colinello once again. He's out to the 40-yard line, a 13-yard pickup. 1st and 10 for the Ghosts. So Abington's offense finally starting to put together a decent drive here, getting several big carries, one after another, both by Johnson and Connor. Jeremy Goodwin split out wide to the right. Francis Benson at quarterback. Here's yet another option. It goes outside. This time it's Jim Johnson. He gets a couple blocks and is close to another first down, and I believe he has it for the Ghosts. 1st and 10 once again. North Penn's defense getting a little lackadaisical here. They still lead 35-0, however.
Well, Pettin's doing this very subtly. He's slipping in a lot of second-round players.
1st and 10 for the Ghosts. Ball is spotted at the North Penn 30-yard line, just inside the 30-yard line. Abington will send out twins to the left side of the field. It's John Connor and Evan Holmes. Handoff up the middle goes to the fullback Dave Brooks. He picks up about 4 yards on the play. And it will be 2nd and 6 for the Ghosts. At this time, we'd like to welcome back to North Penn High School a class of 1998 alumni, Jason Payne, one of the captains last year on the football team. Glad to see you back here, Jason. How you doing?
I'm very good. Thanks, Kyle.
Of course, you're now at Millersville University. Why don't you explain to us a little bit about how life is at Millersville?
School's real tough, and the adjustment to manage your time between football and schoolwork is it's overbearing at times, but I'm starting to figure it out a little bit.
Now, you were redshirted on the football team this season?
Yeah, I'm probably not going to play this year, and that'll give me an extra year of eligibility after I graduate, and I'll get to work on my master's and play football as a fifth-year senior, and it'll give me a real advantage as I can get bigger and stronger and learn the system.
And your major is?
Elementary ed.
So that is good to have an opportunity to work on your master's
Right.
while you're still playing football in college. And also, on top of being redshirted, that gives you a chance to get to know the offense a little bit more because you practice with the team, correct?
Yeah, I practice. I do everything the team does except for playing games. I get to dress for the home games. I don't travel on away games. But actually, Kyle, I'm playing defense there. I got switched to safety, so I'm starting to learn a little bit about playing safety there.
That's great. And how do you think North Penn's team's doing this year? Obviously 4-0 right now. Looks like they're well on their way to 5-0. You know, a little bit bigger on defense this year, a little quicker on offense. You got to like what you see.
Hockey's an amazing guy, and offensive line seems to be doing a pretty good job opening up holes for him. And once he gets a little crease, you can see on the field, no one's going to catch him. And that's the amazing part about him. And Aaron Thomas looked awful good early. And it seems like their injuries didn't hurt him as much as I thought they might because everyone else kind of pick it up for him.
That play right there was Francis Benson throwing a 4th down completion down to the fellow quarterback Jeremy Goodwin. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Ghosts at the North Penn 13-yard line. Of course, Jason, last year you remember the Abington game. You guys might have been looking a little forward to the West game the following week, of course. Doesn't look like it's happening at all tonight.
Nah, and Abington pulled a couple tricks out of their hat last year too, coming out into Wishbone, and they came out into Wishbone a little earlier today too. But the West game is a key game on the schedule every year. It's going to be as long as Coach Benton is here and as long as CB West keeps playing as well as they do. But tonight it's been a great defensive game where they've played behind the offensive line of scrimmage all game, and Hockey just looks great.
Yeah, one of the big differences this year in this game that we've seen is the offensive line for Abington. They averaged 215, and that's North Penn's smallest player on the defensive line.
Yeah, and size really means a lot now, and you're seeing a lot of these guys. A lot of these sophomores look awful big here at North Penn. I wish a couple of my teams while I was here would have been as big as these guys. And we had a couple of big guys, but these sophomores look awful big, and they're starting to contribute now on the varsity field.
Okay, Jason Payne, best of luck to you at Millersville University. Glad to see you back here at North Penn.
Thanks for having me, Kyle.
All right. Clock is running at 1:30 to go in the first half. North Penn leading 35-0, but Abington threatening. Here's the counter. It goes to Connor, and he picks up about 5 yards inside the North Penn 10-yard line, and Abington will call timeout. Freezing the clock at 1:22. That's the Ghosts' first timeout of the first half. Well, Chad, it would be nice to see North Penn come away with a first half shutout here, although Abington is threatening. They have the ball at North Penn's 10-yard line. It is 3rd down. It'll be nice to see the defense step up. Of course, a key completion was made on 4th and long. That 4th down conversion going from Benson to his fellow quarterback, Jeremy Goodwin.
That was Abington's 3rd pass of the game, so far they've tied their total from last game.
And it is really interesting to see what they've done. They brought in Goodwin and Benson. It looks like Benson's been getting the majority of the playing time. He's been going about 70% at quarterback to Goodwin's 30% of the plays. And it seemed to work out nicely for Abington on this drive. They've had Goodwin lined up as a wide receiver, and Benson has been taking the bulk of the snaps at quarterback. That's also a nice way to work Benson into the swing of things, as he'll be taking over full-time next year as a senior after they lose Goodwin to graduation. Here we go, 3rd and 7 for Abington. Benson at quarterback, sharp split to the right. Here's a big hit on the play, and Benson is dropped for a loss by Mike Moore. 4th and 7 on the play. Actually, it'll be 4th and 13. Let's take a look at that replay, see if we can pick up that hit. Benson goes back, he's got nowhere to go. And a big hit on that play by North Penn. It'll be 4th and 15 for Abington. They're gonna go for it. They won't be content to kick a field goal. Clock is running inside 40 seconds to go. Benson drops back. He's gonna give a shot to the end zone, and it's overthrown to Jeremy Goodwin. North Penn will take over. They will probably kneel on the ball and end the first half with a 35-0 lead. So a bit overthrown on that play by Benson, looking for Goodwin. And with 34 seconds to go in the first half, North Penn takes the field and has the ball at their own 17-yard line.
Won't be surprised if Kucklick comes out, maybe runs a couple plays and then just kneels on the ball, trying to waste a little time.
Well, North Penn is in a very tight formation, indicative of possibly kneeling down, double tights. And Kucklick will take a knee. And I believe that will do it for the first half, depending on when they spot the ball. And that will do it for the first half. North Penn shocking Abington, shocking me even, 35-0. They come out and take it to the Ghosts in the first half. Heike Johnson, 3 touchdown runs. Aaron Thomas, a 98-yard touchdown run, the first score of the game. And then Clay Kucklick adding a 7-yard touchdown run of his own. And that'll do it for the first half. Your thoughts on the first half? Just dominance by North Penn, simply put.
Well, it seems like the theme between Abington and North Penn is come out on your first drive and score on your third play.
Well, that'll do it for the first half here at Crawford Stadium. North Penn with a 35-0 lead all over the Abington Ghosts. We'll be back with some stats and the start of the third quarter after this on North Penn Television, so stay with us. We'll be back.
Do you think you have the power to change the world?
I can change the world one child at a time.
I know I can make a difference in those children's lives.
I teach.
I teach.
Yes, they're teachers, but to the kids they reach, they're heroes.
I teach.
Do you have the power to wake up young minds, to be someone's hero? Teach, to make an impact on our future. Call 1-800-45-TEACH. Be a teacher. Be a hero.
Welcome back to Crawford Stadium. There you see the score, North Penn up 35-0 as Abington will receive the kickoff to open the first half. Aside from the fact that it's 35-0, Chad, let's get into some of the stats here from the first half to show North Penn's domination.
North Penn has a total of 234 yards. Abington has a total of 128. Heike Johnson in the first half has 118. Kucklick with 7. Kapusta 18, and Aaron Thomas on third play from scrimmage with 98-yard run. Jim Johnson, 51 yards. John Connor, 26. Dave Brooks, 2. Fran Benson, 11. Benson also has an interception and is 1 for 3 on passing. Mike Kearney has 20 yards. Damian Newman, 11. Steve Wright, 7. And the Ghosts have a total pass yards of 13.
Chad, I'm just still overwhelmed by this just sheer brute force that North Penn has just marched down the field on all their drives with. And one thing we'll see now in the second half, it's called the mercy rule. And that's a new rule brought in by the PIAA this year, When a football team is up by 35 points in the second half, the clock will continuously run regardless of change of possession, even if one of the players is knocked out of bounds, which would usually stop the clock. The only time the clock will be stopped officially will be on a scoring play, such as a touchdown or a field goal, an official's timeout, a team's timeout, or an injury timeout. So this will probably be a very quick second half unless Abington can get back into this game. Here's Heinel's kick. It's deep, and it's taken up to the 25-yard line, maybe the 27. Ball is loose. Fight is still on for the ball. Who comes away with it? It is still loose, rolling around, and it is... Who has it? Waiting for a signal.
North Penn signaling they have it, Kyle.
And they do. 1st and 10 North Penn on a quick turnover. That ball must have been loose on the ground for about 10 seconds. That thing was rolling around there. Nobody could decide who wanted to pick it up. Okay, let's take a look at this. We'll see how many people touch this football. A high and deep kick by Heinel, and it is taken at about the 5-yard line. A good kick, and we'll see where the ball pops loose. Right there, it goes flying. It's out at the 30-yard line, still squirting free. Dropped again. That one was picked up by Steve Wright, but North Penn did manage to recover it, and it is 1st and 10 as the clock is running. We're back now live. Here goes Heike Johnson. He shakes and bakes for a first down after a pickup of about 13 yards on that play. Good run by Heike Johnson. Of course, he came into the half with 118 yards. But with this continuous clock roll, Chad, it'll be really hard for Johnson to rack up the yardage in the second half that he might be able to had this game been closer.
I still think he'll have the possibility of maybe reaching 200 or more.
He comes into the game with 8 straight 100-yard rushing games, including a 240-yard performance last week. Here's the pitch to Aaron Thomas. He gets the corner, cuts up, the 10, the 5, touchdown Knights. Aaron Thomas, 41-0 here at Crawford Stadium. Untouched. Thomas is over 100, and North Penn continues to build the lead. Great breakaway speed by Thomas once he got the corner.
Abington has to be dying right now. That kickoff had to have killed them. I'm betting they were trying to come out, score a touchdown so they could get the clock to be stopped, but obviously it's not going to happen.
Turnovers have been the story of this game tonight. Heinel is on to make the extra point for North Penn. He's a perfect 5 for 5 so far tonight. Kuklik will spot. It's a good snap. Ball is spotted. Kick is up, and it's good through the uprights. 42-0 North Penn. Let's look at Aaron Thomas go untouched into the end zone. Great blocking by Mike Kapusta, who's been on his game tonight. Oh, what a block by Colinello. I don't know if you saw that. He leveled his man. He knocked him into the ground, and Thomas sprung by that block by Colinello. Quite possibly the best block I've seen all game. That was a pancake block, to say the least, by Colinello. He sent him into next week. So that does stop the clock. 10:22 to go in the third quarter. And North Penn will kick off to Abington. So North Penn up by 6 touchdowns, I should say. Here's Heinel's kick. It's high and short, heading toward the sideline. It will go out of bounds. That'll be a procedure penalty against North Penn. Looked like Heinel actually caught most of the kicking tee there as the tee wound up at Abington's 40-yard line.
Yeah, he didn't look too happy about that kick right there.
He has been kicking extremely well for North Penn thus far tonight. Procedure penalty against North Penn will give Abington the football at their own 35-yard line, where they will take over 1st and 10. North Penn sticking with their first teamers on defense. I'd imagine they keep them in for the better part of this third quarter, possibly into the fourth. Then we'll see some of the subs come in. Here's Benson on a keeper. He's got plenty of room. He runs by Colinello. Look at him go. He is gone. Francis Benson to the 10, the 5. Touchdown Ghost. The shutout is over. And that is the first touchdown the North Penn first-team defense has given up since the opening week of the season against the Penn Ridge Rams. Looked like just good blocking up front. North Penn might have gotten a little faked out by that run by Benson, but he goes 65 yards, pretty much untouched, into the end zone. On to kick the extra point is Matt Johnson. Ball is spotted, kick is up, and it is good. 42-7, the score. North Penn has a 35-point lead. Here it is. Now watch Collinell right there. He kind of got faked out, had a chance, didn't exactly break down to make the tackle, and Benson's running off our screen into the end zone. So a good run by the junior quarterback. He showed good speed right there.
That was an incredible run by Benson. I mean, their offensive line finally came out and just flew off the ball and caught North Penn by surprise, it looks like.
So it is now 42-7. North Penn still with a 35-point lead. 10:08 on the clock. We haven't seen much of this mercy rule in effect because teams seem to be scoring at will here. North Penn rolling off a touchdown on their opening possession, and Abington doing the same thing to North Penn, scoring on their first play from scrimmage in the second half.
Looks like North Penn's bringing out their hands kickoff team.
Yeah, they might be expecting an onside kick from Abington. Can't blame them. Abington needs to try every attempt they can to get the ball, and it appears that they are setting up for an onside kick, maybe not. Can't tell. They're not showing it if they're setting up for the onside kick. Here's Abington's kick. It's a high spiral sent out of bounds, and North Penn will now take over at the 35-yard line on the procedure penalty. Not a good kick at all on that play.
North Penn got lucky there. That ball bounced out of bounds. The only person they had back was Aaron Thomas.
Well, here comes the second team offense for North Penn, it appears. Still waiting to see if they're sending in Kuklik or not. Now it appears that Sid Anand will be the new North Penn quarterback. He's talking to Coach Pettin on the sideline. And North Penn's going to call timeout to try to get their offense set up. As their first timeout in the second half. It appears that the first team offense might be done for the day, although a lot of the skill position players from first team are still in. Aaron Thomas, you see, coming into the huddle for the Knights. But he'll quickly turn off the field, and in comes Larry Cannon. So a little Chinese fire drill for the North Penn Knights here running this huddle, trying to figure out who they want to put in the game.
Well, they must have had at least 6 players running in and out by now.
So North Penn just wanted to get one last score with their first team offense in the second half. Didn't take them that long to do it, about a minute. And man, the turnovers have really cost Abington today, Chad.
Well, this game's starting to look like a Penn Ridge game. First game of the season for North Penn. They had 7 fumbles, was it?
Yeah, they coughed up the ball 7 times. Fortunately for them, they only gave up 3 to Penn Ridge. But Abington has fumbled 3 or 4 times into North Penn's possession. Quarterback for the Knights is Sid Anand, and he'll pitch out. It goes to Jared Adams. He gets around the corner, and he's brought down by Jeremy Goodwin of the Ghosts. Pickup of 8 yards on the play by Jared Adams. 2nd and 2 for North Penn. Clock, of course, now will run continuously until an official's timeout or a scoring play. North Penn will split Jay Purcell out to the far side of the field. Larry Cannon lined up in the wingback spot for North Penn. This is a fullback draw up the middle to Mike Yeager getting some playing time. He is hammered down after a pickup of about 13 yards by Andre Willis. Yeager, of course, we saw having a very nagging shoulder injury. He separated his shoulder against Council Rock. Re-aggravated it last week against Ben Salem, but he appears to be all right. He is coming off the field for a little breather right now, though.
I'm assuming they're going to use him very sparingly tonight. He's been one of their most key players.
1st and 10, North Penn. Purcell's not sure where he needs to be. Now he finally gets split to the far side of the field. In motion comes Chris Hamill. Handoff goes up the middle to Josh Ketchum. He bowls forward for about 4 yards. And is tackled by Andrew Ashlock of Abington. It'll be about 2nd and 6 for North Penn at Abington's 40-yard line. And Chad, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think North Penn has thrown a pass yet today.
No, they haven't, Kyle. Oh, no, I'm sorry. They've thrown one pass today.
That's right. The Clay Cucklick did throw an incompletion early in the first quarter. I forgot about that. Here's Jared Adams still on his feet. Flag on the play. We'll see the call on this one. Jared Adams does pick up a first down, but the penalty is holding against North Penn. That'll bring it back 10 yards from the spot of the foul. So scratch that run for Jared Adams.
For a second-team offense, they seem to be moving down the field pretty well, Kyle.
Yeah, and we saw this last week against Ben Salem. You know, the second-team offense put a touchdown on the board, and they really just marched down the field almost at will against the Owls defense. And save for this penalty, they have been moving down the field well so far this drive. Clock still running thanks to the mercy rule, 7:10 to go in the third quarter.
Abington right now, it seems like they're trying to look for a big stop so they can get the ball back.
2nd and 14 for North Penn. Ball just inside Abington's half of the field. Sitting on with the inside counter to Larry Cannon. He's still on his feet, and he picks up about 12 yards on the play. Good run by the sophomore running back, number 15. 3rd and 3 for North Penn at the Abington 38-yard line. They need to get just across the 35 for a first down. You got to like the way the second-team offense runs for North Penn, Chad. I mean, they come out and they give 100%, even though they're up by 35 points right now. They want to put some more points on the board for themselves. Flags all over the place as this play is blown dead. Might have been a false start on North Penn. I could not tell.
I'm going to assume the second team's looking at this as a chance to show Pettin what he can do.
That was a false start against North Penn, so they're going to take it back 5 yards. 3rd and 9 for the Knights. And another good sign, as we can see here from the press box, if your assistant coaches from the top of the press box, namely Jay Jones, are coming down after 7 minutes of play in the third quarter, you know things are going well for your team. Here's that inside reverse to Larry Cannon. He has room, and look at him go. Oh, just caught from behind on that play by Jim Johnson and Rashawn Farmer. He picks up about 12 yards on that play. 1st and 10, North Penn. Good run by Cannon. They ran that play two plays earlier. And let's take a look at this play by Larry Cannon. That was the same play that Aaron Thomas ran 98 yards. And good speed by Larry Cannon. He is brought down after that big pickup. Ball is spotted at the 29-yard line of the Ghosts. Sitting on under center. Hands off up the middle to Mike Yeager. Flags fly. And usually when you see the umpire throw a flag, it tends to be a holding call. We'll see what the official call is.
Right now, I'm going to give the North Penn Knights offensive line a lot of credit. They've been making a lot of big holes for their running backs.
The call was holding against North Penn. It will be 10 yards from the spot of the foul, making it 1st and 20 from the 38-yard line.
So everybody can we're all awesome.
Clock is running, 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. North Penn hanging on to that 42-7 lead. Looking to add to it, second team offense in the game. Long count by Anand. Here's the handoff. It goes to Dan Brown. He gets free. He picks up 10, maybe 13 yards on that play. He's out to the 25-yard line. Good run by Dan Brown.
That was an excellent run. When Daryl Johnson came up to challenge him, he just pretty much plowed him over.
North Penn is really deep at that halfback position. They have several guys that could step up and play should Heike Johnson, and we don't want to say this, obviously, if he goes down with an injury. North Penn has several able bodies that could step in, and we're seeing a lot of them tonight. Here goes Brown again off tackle right. He is short of the first down by about 3 yards. He does get to the 21-yard line, where it will be 3rd and 3 for the Knights.
The second team offense is eating up a lot of clock for North Penn, Kyle.
That can be a little deceiving with the continuous clock, but that is a good point, Chad. They have rolled off. This is probably about the 10th or 12th play of this drive for the Knights. Second teamers. Of course, Abington sticking with their first team defense, trying to get a stop. Okay. Kyle Smith is split to the far side for the Knights. Ketchum and Adams in the backfield. It goes to Adams. He gets the first down for North Penn out to the 15-yard line. Good run by Jared Adams to pick up the first.
I think right now the Abington defense is just trying to play for pride.
Yeah, anytime the score gets to be at the point where it is, where a team is leading by 35 points or even more than that, the defense gets to a point where they just say, enough is enough. We can't take any more scoring. You know, people are going to be reading about it in the papers for a week that we got blown out. They really have to buckle down and try to hold this scoring to a minimum. 1st and 10 North Penn, ball at the 15-yard line of the Ghosts. Here's a nod on the keeper, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown Knights. Sid Anand, a 15-yard quarterback draw. 48-7, North Penn in the lead. That is a great play, that quarterback draw.
He went almost completely untouched in the end zone.
And that's a great change of play selection by Coach Pettin. You run the ball to halfbacks, the fullbacks for eight straight plays maybe, and then you get Sid Anand to take one step back to fake out the defense and go right up the middle for the North Penn touchdown. Bart Mays is on to kick the extra point. We saw him kick an extra point last week against Ben Salem. Sid Anand will do the holding. It's a low snap. Ball is spotted. Kick is blocked. That won't be roughing the kicker because the ball was blocked, but Bart Mays is down. He took a real shot on that. Right now we're going to take a look at this touchdown by Sid Anand. Quarterback draw, simple play. Step up, right through the middle. Great blocking. You saw Manai Bargwin, the center, number 70, just blow his man off of the ball. Great play. Bart Mays is all right. It's a low snap, and Anand couldn't place it quickly enough for Bart Mays to make that kick. So that's the first misconversion of the game for North Penn, but when you're up by 41 points as they are, it doesn't really make a difference. Clock is stopped after the scoring play by North Penn at 1:30 to go in the third quarter. North Penn up 48-7. And you know, Chad, we said coming into this game that it was key for North Penn not to look past this game to CB West next week. And it's apparent after the first 12 minutes of football, this game was pretty much in the bag. They came out, just rolled over Abington like a team on a mission. And they just set the tone for this game early and often. And it looks like they're really ready for CB West next week.
I think CB West game is going to be a great game.
Here's the kick by Mays. It's taken by Keon Scott. And he is tackled inside the 30-yard line at the 28. 1st and 10 for Abington as the second-team defense of North Penn will take the field against Abington's first-team offense. Good kick by Bart Mays, high and deep.
Looks like North Penn put their second-team defense out there too, Kyle.
Yes, they did. Francis Benson still at quarterback for Abington, I should say. Here's an option, split to Johnson out to the far side. He's knocked out of bounds after a pickup of close to 10 yards. They do give Abington the first down on the 10-yard carry by Johnson. Clock running out in the third quarter, under 20 seconds to go. We'll see if Abington can get a playoff before the end of the third quarter. Most likely not. Five seconds on the clock and running. Abington will not get this play off. That'll be the end of the first quarter. Oh, they do get it off, but it's an incomplete pass by Benson. Going with a quick count, trying to catch North Penn off guard. That'll do it for the third quarter. A quick one thanks to the mercy rule, but North Penn knocks 13 more points on the board on a touchdown run by Aaron Thomas and another one by Sid Anand. Abington finally gets on the board thanks to a Francis Benson 65-yard run. We'll be back with the final 12 minutes of football here at Crawford Stadium after this, so stay with us.
Go for a mouthful, go for the fun.
Go for cake!
Cakes are for everyone. Just one stack is what it takes, and it's Gopher cakes. Open wide, stuff your face. There's always room for more Gopher cakes. Empty the box, then reload. Eat those Gopher cakes till you explode.
Exercised lately?
Till you explode.
Welcome back to Crawford Stadium. Start of the fourth quarter, 48-7, North Penn in the lead. Here's an option. Backside pressure by John Schilling. He can't come up with a tackle. And I believe a first down is made by Francis Benson. Driven out of bounds by Dan Brown. And it will be 1st and 10 for Abington.
You gotta give Schilling some credit coming from the backside trying to catch Benson.
We saw Dave Koslow make that same type of play in the first half, dragging down Jim Johnson from clear across the other side of the field. Once he got him in his sights, he just came right after him, was able to knock him out of bounds. Well, they didn't give Abington the first down. I thought they signaled for it as 3rd and short. North Penn's defense showing blitz, they back off. As a handoff up the middle, moving the pile forward. The pile is actually about 6 yards in front of the ball. Getting the carry was Steve Wright, number 2. 1st and 10 for the Ghosts. Good fire off the ball by Abington's offensive line to get room.
I think they caught North Penn by surprise there, Kyle.
Yeah, they ran that quick draw up the middle, which they've been faking and going to the option with the whole game. But this time they just gave it right up the middle to Wright, and he picked up the first down. Ball is now at the North Penn 47-yard line, 1st and 10 for Abington. Benson still at quarterback. It's a reverse. It goes to Johnson. And he's tackled after a pickup of close to 8 or 9 yards by Kyle Smith of the North Penn Knights. It'll be 2nd and a long 1, maybe 2 for Abington.
The one thing I haven't seen let up by the Knights so far this year, really, is the big play.
Yeah, we have not seen many big plays. The longest play against North Penn this year was that fumble return last week by Ben Salem. That went about 40, 50 yards perhaps. It was Derek Turner, 58 yards to be exact, returning a fumble by North Penn. 2nd and 2 for Abington. Goes to Jim Johnson. He's wrapped up after picking up 2 yards. He's close to an Abington first down.
Jim Johnson on the carry. Stop by Bob Creswell.
Still waiting for a signal from the official. And it is a first down for Abington. Score remains 48-7. North Penn in a commanding 41-point lead against Abington. Clock running, 9:20 to go in the ballgame. Abington will set up in their wing tee, sending Jeremy Goodwin out to the far side, split as a wide receiver. Benson still under center. He'll run the option. He's got plenty of room. Now he'll pitch up. And picking up close to a first down is Damian Newman. I'm not sure if he has it. Now that one, Chad, almost looked to me like it might have been a forward lateral in front of the line of scrimmage. Benson was really late in deciding when he wanted to pitch that ball, and Newman was almost in front of him by the time he let fly with the pitch. Let's take a look at this replay and see. Now the line of scrimmage is that the 25-yard line. See, that looked to me, maybe that was a lateral just from our angle. I couldn't tell. He was clearly in front of the line of scrimmage, and that could have been an illegal forward pass. 2nd and a short one for the Ghosts. Here's a pass, a quick slant over the middle, almost picked off by Dan Brown. Jeremy Goodwin, the intended receiver, that went a bit over his head off the arm of Francis Benson. Good defense by Brown, reading that quick slant and getting on it right away. Under 8 minutes to go now in the fourth quarter. 3rd and very short for Abington. Handoff up the middle. 1st and 10 for the Ghost. A big gain of about 6 yards on that play. Picking up the carry on that play, I believe, was number 34, Dave Brooks. I may be mistaken. That was Steve Wright on the play, I beg your pardon. 1st and 10 for Abington. They'll send a wide receiver to the left and to the right. 3 backs in the backfield. Here's the option. Johnson has the corner, but a good play by Steve Francis to hang on for dear life until he got some support from his fellow defenders, and about a gain of 1, maybe 2 by Johnson on that option.
That last option you saw, that looked pretty dangerous. If one of the North Penn ends had been paying attention, he could come right between him. Benson and the Johnson.
Yeah, it's always important for the quarterback to make up his mind as soon as possible what he wants to do with the ball. Either keep it or pitch it. You don't want to confuse yourself. Here's Benson on the keeper. This is the play he ran for a touchdown earlier, and he's going to do it again. Touchdown Ghosts on the 20-yard run by Francis Benson. Abington ought to run that play more often. That seems to be the only play that's working against North Penn tonight.
Well, I think they're setting that play up using the option. They keep pitching the ball outside, and it's leaving the middle wide open.
And that was a clear keeper. That was not an option play. Benson was all by himself, and he had a huge hole to run through about 5 yards wide, untouched for the 2nd time into the end zone. On the kick is Matt Johnson. Ball is spotted. Kick is up, and it's good. 48-14 is now the score. Here's a look at Benson's 20-yard touchdown run. Same play as before, untouched. Good cut right there past North Penn's defense, and Benson flips the ball to the official after scoring his 2nd touchdown of the game. So the clock is stopped, 6:22 to go in the fourth quarter. North Penn still up by 34 points.
Well, if Abington can have a star player of the game, it looks like it's going to be Benson.
Yeah, he did not start the game at quarterback. Jeremy Goodwin did, but the Ghosts then moved Goodwin out to a wide receiver position, and Francis Benson has been running the offense since then.
Well, Goodwin seems like he has more of a wide receiver frame at 6'1", 190 pounds.
Yeah, he's got 2 or 3 inches on Francis Benson. Of course, Benson, only a junior, still has another year to grow. He's only listed at 5'11", 170. But he appears that he runs this offense rather well. You know, we saw Goodwin run it last year. He did an okay job with it. But Benson tonight, I mean, if you take the score out of consideration, he's run the option well, and he runs it the best I've seen so far this year. Perhaps Chad Struthers out of Penn Ridge had a better game, I'm not sure. Here's Dan Brown on the return. He's got room and tackled at the 28-yard line by Abington's Evan Holmes. 1st and 10, North Penn. Ball at the 38-yard line.
As soon as he caught that ball, he started running up the field. He didn't give a chance for his blockers to set up.
Yeah, we saw the Knights trying to run a wall left. There wasn't a wall there by the time Brown got to it. 48-14 is the score, 5:45 and counting on the Crawford Stadium scoreboard. Sedanon still at quarterback. He hands off up the middle. Here goes Josh Ketchum, the big fullback, getting across midfield, picking up 23 yards on that play. Good run by Ketchum. That's the same play he ran for a touchdown last week against Ben Salem.
Once more, Daryl Johnson stepped up to make a big hit, and he got thrown back at least 3 yards.
Let's take a look at Ketchum's run up the middle. Straight up the middle, and just barely tackled on that play by Daryl Johnson, almost a self-defense tackle, as he had Ketchum bearing down on him, 6 foot, 180 pounds of speed coming at him. Anand pitches out. This one goes to Jared Adams. Oh, he is hammered down. Very awkward looking tackle. But he gets right up. That looked like a hard shot, but he's right up after a 3-yard gain, maybe 4 yards. 2nd and 6 for North Penn at the 35-yard line. 45-yard line, rather, of Abington. Clock now at 4:15, still going with that continuous clock, as North Penn has a 34-point lead. Actually, they shouldn't be doing the mercy rule. Technically, it's a 35-point lead when that rule is in effect. I'm not sure if they've noticed that yet. Pickup of about 4 yards on that play by Chad Yakel. Brad Yakel, I beg your pardon. That's number 13 into the game for North Penn. Not listed on the numerical roster, but he is on the sophomore team, I believe. He's the sophomore team quarterback. So he has picked up about 4 or 5 yards on that carry. 3rd and a very long one for North Penn.
And actually, in fact, Kyle, it looks like he came in as quarterback for the Knights.
3rd and 1. Pitch goes out to Dan Brown. Can he turn the corner? Yes. And look at him go. Can he cut in? Yes, but he is just shoved out of bounds by 2 Abington defenders. Matt Ebeck of Abington just barely sent out of bounds Dan Brown, number 23. Good run by Brown on 3rd and 1 to pick up about 15 yards down to the 19-yard line of Abington. Here's a look at this play. He can just turn the corner here, just outrunning Abington's defense, making several people make tackles, runs over his own man, and is down to the 19-yard line. 1st and 10, North Penn, 2.5 to go in the ballgame.
He tried to tightrope walk the sideline, but he just got knocked out.
Yakel under center. Handoff up the middle. Flag on the play. Looks like there's going to be holding, as that was thrown by the umpire once again. We'll pick up the call. It is holding against North Penn, 10 yards from the spot. They'll replay 1st down. Clock, of course, continuing to run. They're stretching the rules a little bit on the mercy rule. I guess considering a 34-point lead to be enough to put this rule into effect. Ball will be spotted after that penalty at the Abington 25-yard line, where it'll be first and about 15 for North Penn. North Penn will split wide receiver to the left side of the field. Handoff up the middle it goes. Not much doing on that play as the Abington defense greets the runner up the middle for North Penn. Down to the final 60 seconds of football here at Crawford Stadium. One, maybe two plays left in the game for the Knights, as they are coasting to this 48-14 victory over Abington. Yekel will take the snap and pitch it left. And a pickup of about 5 yards on that play. Oh, apologies, we do not have number 8 in our program. And that appears to be the final play of the game here at Crawford Stadium. A 48-14 victory for North Penn. What can you say, Chad? Just a 110% effort by North Penn today, especially in the first half, coming out, setting the tone, and disposing of Abington before halftime.
There is nothing you really can say, Kyle. North Penn just came out and killed Abington. I mean, there was nothing really to this game. Once North Penn scored, they just kept the ball rolling.
Well, North Penn is a virtual mob at midfield right now as they line up for their handshakes. After this 48-14 victory here at Crawford Stadium, they improve to a perfect 5-0 and remain in first place in the Suburban 1 Power 10. Abington drops to 0-4. We'll be back with some stats and a final word after this on North Penn Television, so stay with us.